Hello, everyone. So today we're doing, by popular demand, the story of how we met. So you want to open us up?
Yeah, a lot of people asked us, so we'll dive in. Um, I went to college. I guess a lot of people might have already guessed it from our previous video, because of the homecoming, and people asked. Um, but yes, we did meet in college. I played baseball in college, and it was a Christian school, so we had to take certain amount of Bible classes. And one of the Bible classes that I took my second semester in my freshman year was the same class as Anna's Bible class.
So we were both in Bible class together.
Yes. And I'm not sure if you sat down and then I sat down, or was it
He sat down because
okay?
I remember I always like to sit in the back of classes. I don't like to be called on. And so I was kind of by myself, and he came over, and I thought he was going to sit next to me, but he left one space in between us. And I was like, okay, that's normal. Respectful.
Yeah, respecting the privacy.
Uh huh.
So yeah, I remember that. She was there, and then I also don't like sitting in front, so I was going backwards. Then I saw her,
You didn't sit there because it was just me?
and then she was beautiful, and I wanted to sit there, but I didn't want it to sit right next to her.
He did. He was just too
Okay,
shy.
but I left one space, and then I sat down. We introduced each other.
I actually remember the professor called roll first, and he called Daniel, and Sanoon answered. And I was like, okay. And then whenever we did a lot of like group work, and so Sanoon and I sat next to each other and we were partners, and he introduced himself to me as Sanoon. Um, but I couldn't remember his name, and so I just stopped kind of talking to him as much because I felt bad. I was like, I don't want to call him Daniel if he doesn't call himself Daniel.
Yeah, I had an English name, as Daniel, but I never went by Daniel. But good thing for her was that COVID hit. So
Wait, tell them about your bet
well,
with your friends.
it wasn't like a full bet, but when I first got to school, I
He
like
thought all white people looked the same, which is okay because I guess if you're just not used to seeing
yeah,
a lot of
I
white
just
people.
wasn't used to seeing white people, especially white girls. And when I first got to school, a lot of people just looked the same to me. Like I couldn't match face with names yet. Um,
And he didn't think, he couldn't tell if any white people were pretty, girls specifically, because he thought we all looked the same.
yeah, and like my baseball friends, like my teammates, would make jokes about it. Um, and then they were asking like, "Who do you think it's pretty, or who do you think is pretty on campus?" And I didn't know at that time. And then I went to a few classes. I saw Anna, and then I told them, "Wait, I think she's pretty." And then everyone got really curious. They're like, "Who's this girl that this guy
I
thinks is
used to see
pretty?"
them outside of the Bible class walking you to class.
Yeah, so like my friends and I would walk to class, and when I would go into my classroom, they would pass by to see who Anna was. But yeah,
Yeah, then COVID hit, and we were let out of school, and so we didn't talk really after that until you needed help first with a project, and so I answered a DM to help him.
yep. That's another part. I don't exactly remember, but I found her on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure I followed you first, and then she followed me back, and like I was at a game, a away game, so I
This was
missed.
before we went home.
Yeah, this is before COVID. I went to a game, so I missed a class where they were taking tests. Um, so I DM'd Anna.
He
I
didn't really need
I
help.
needed help.
Yeah.
I didn't need help.
And then I helped him a little bit. And then I never responded after that, even though he tried to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, like I asked for tips, and then like I was trying to keep the conversation going. I was asking some like random questions like what are you doing like this weekend or whatever, but she just left me on read. Or I don't think she even read it
I didn't see it. And honestly, I just don't like responding to DMs or messages much in general.
because she gets so much. Yeah.
No, I just don't. And then when we were all finally home for COVID, I had never used like Zoom before, so I needed help with something. And he was the only person from that class that I knew. So then I reached back out to him and I saw that I hadn't answered him. And I was like, oh, whatever, not a big
And
deal.
she had the audacity to still message me.
Wasn't a big deal. I helped him. Now he could help me. And then he responded and was just so nice. And once again, tried to keep conversation going, keep shooting that shot. And I was like, wow, this is a really nice guy. Why not? It's COVID. We're home. Nothing bad can happen. So I'll just keep talking and texting. And so we ended up doing that until school got back in session.
Which was like from March to August,
Mm-hmm.
we were just texting and like few
Calling.
calls.
It was so
few
fun though, because it
FaceTimes.
was like no pressure. We just got to be friends. And then we got back to school, and literally shortly thereafter, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I said yes. And then we dated for like 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Graduated and
Things happened.
got married like 2 years later. Yeah. And now we just hang out as a married couple.
Yep. But let's ask this. What was your first impression of me? One, when you first saw me, and two, when you saw me again in August.
No first impression of you when I first saw you. I didn't really think about anything. And then when I saw you again in August, okay, I get the ick really badly. So
I don't. They might not
I'll
know what
explain it.
ick is.
The ick means like you get a crush on someone and then you meet them and then you don't have a crush anymore and you just are like overwhelmed because you're like, oh, how do I ghost this person I've been talking to? So I didn't really date before you at all because I couldn't.
That's what she says.
And so I was really worried because I enjoyed talking to you all summer so much. And I was like, oh, I really hope I like him when I see him in person, but I just wasn't sure. And so the first time we hung out in person, I thought it was great. I had butterflies the whole time. I had so much fun. You were so nice and so sweet. And so, yeah, it was great. And ever since then, just been in love.
Yeah.
And we got married really young, which is also really fun. But yeah, we're both like 26, 25, 26.
Yep. Young.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of like a big, kind of broad story of how we met.
Scotty, do you have any words? And then we got Scotty.
Yep. And she's the cutest puppy ever.
She really is so cute.
But
So yeah,
yeah,
that's it. That's how we met.
that is how we met. And um, there might be a lot of questions that people might wonder still, but this is just an overview and a start.
To be continued. I feel like we covered all the bases.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
So if you have more questions, leave it in the comment. Maybe later on we'll answer them.
Sending is pretty private though.
I am pretty private.
I'm really not.
Yep.
It's a good balance.
So, all right.
Bye.
We'll see you
Say
next
bye.
time. Bye.